Hi, welcome back to my channel. You might notice a different background behind me. That's because I'm away from home caring for a sick relative. It's been a minute since I've updated my channel, I know. I've also not been terribly consistent with my own mindfulness practice. I wonder if anyone else listening to this can relate. I was reminded today by myself that to fall out of a habit, to break a streak, to be imperfect is to be human. And we can give ourselves the compassionate gift of beginning again. And truly, isn't that what mindfulness practice is holding our attention with intention on a mantra or a phrase or an experience like our breath, and every time our attention wanders, bringing it back, beginning again. So I'd like to offer you today a basic mindfulness practice, just mindfulness of the breath, just to get ourselves back in the practice of mindfulness and meditation and doing formal seated practices of beginning again. Are you ready to get started? Okay, finding a comfortable position, seated in a chair or on a cushion, or even laying down. Just taking a little bit of time to move your body in any way it needs to so that you can be as comfortable as possible for the next 10 minutes or so. Just taking your time to get situated. Once you have, either closing your eyes or adopting a soft gaze. Then becoming aware of the fact of your breathing. Finding your breath wherever it's located most prominently in your attention. Perhaps it's the top of your lip, where you feel the slight breeze of the inhale and exhale. Or perhaps it's right in your nostrils. Maybe you feel the breath most prominently in your chest or in your abdomen. Just taking a moment and finding where you feel the breath most prominently and resting your attention there. We focus our attention in the place where our breath is most prominent so that we're not striving to focus on the breath, so that we're easing our way to this mindfulness practice. And now that you've rested your attention on your breathing, wherever that might be in your body, just letting your attention rest there, lightly holding it. Focusing on your breathing, noticing how the inhale nourishes as it fills your lungs, how the exhale relaxes as your lungs empty, expelling all the stale air. Your body knows what it's doing. It breathes even without your attention, so we don't need to change how we're breathing in order to rest our attention there. Just letting the body breathe itself and holding our attention in that rhythmic pattern. Your attention will wander. Perhaps it's wandered right now. And this is the practice of mindfulness. We're turning our attention to our point of focus, to our breath, and beginning again. Catching our breath wherever it is, the moment we're returning our attention to it. Maybe you're catching your breath at the beginning of the inhale. Maybe in that exquisite pause between inhale and exhale. Or maybe at the beginning of the exhale or the end of it. Just as your breath cycle begins anew with each inhalation and exhalation, so too can your attention begin anew as you guide it back to your point of focus, to your breath. Our body knows what it's doing. It doesn't need our help to breathe. All we need to do is to pay attention. Maybe you've really gotten swept away. Maybe you're focusing on what's coming next in your day or what's already happened. Maybe you're making lovely plans or worrying about something. That's what minds do. You can give yourself the gift of allowing yourself to begin again. Shift your attention away from those thinking thoughts and back to your breath, again and again and again. You're not failing at meditation when your mind wanders. That is the practice. The practice is to begin again and again and again. To find ourselves thinking thinky thoughts and coming back to breathing, only breathing, allowing it to take up the entirety of our attention, resting our attention there, nowhere to go, no place to be, nothing else to do but breathe. Returning to this in-breath, returning to this out-breath as many times as you need to, without criticism, without judgment, giving yourself the compassion to begin again. Oh, there I go again, you may say to yourself, wrapped up in thinking. Oh, my brain is doing brain things again. Back to the breath, finding it in my body, catching it wherever it is in its natural cycle, and beginning again in this moment, and the next, and the next. Back to the breath, back to our breathing. Observing how the body knows how to breathe without any input from us. And when you feel ready, bringing some soft, gentle movement back to your body, taking a stretch, moving around in whatever way feels good. When you feel ready, opening your eyes or raising your gaze, maybe taking a sip of your drink, coming back to your day, and taking a moment for gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, for being brave enough to return, for being brave enough to begin again, for being exquisitely human in all that you do. Thank you for practicing with me, and I look forward to seeing you again after not too long.